Hello, this is the Education Policy and Directions Committee meeting for Monday, January 13th, 2025. My name is Chair Mabobi. I will be the chair tonight. We'll begin our meeting with the acknowledgement of traditional territories. The Greater Victoria School District wishes to recognize and acknowledge the Esquimalt and Songhees nations on whose traditional territories we live, we learn, and we do our work. So just a couple of housekeeping notes for this meeting. The voting members of this committee present tonight are myself, Trustee Duncan, and Trustee Bayo. We'll begin with approval of the agenda. Would someone like to move to approve today's agenda? That's moved by Trustee Duncan. All those in favor? And the agenda is approved unanimously. Moving on to the approval of the minutes from the education half of the minutes from the last meeting. So this is going to be the recommended motion that the December 2nd, 2024 Combined Education Policy and Directions Committee meeting. I wonder if we need to change the wording of this motion. Maybe I'll turn to Trustee Duncan. Okay, so maybe I'll read this into the record and then we can move to change the wording. And then we'll move on that amendment and then we'll vote on it. Okay. So the recommended motion is that the December 2nd, 2024 Combined Education Policy and Directions Committee and Operations Policy and Planning Committee meeting as they pertain to Education Policy and Directions Committee to be approved. No need to change the wording. Can I get a mover? Moved by Trustee Bayo. All those in favor?
Sorry, Chair, just one moment. There's just an amendment to those minutes, if I may.
Please.
Sorry, I'm a little slow in raising my hand. My apologies.
I should have paused. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, so there's just an amendment at D1 on page 5 of the pack-up. I believe it's page 2 of the minutes. And so the second paragraph under D1, it says, after further discussion, it was agreed that the Operations Policy and Planning Committee would not endorse the equity audit. I just recommend we delete that sentence altogether. It's not the right committee that we're referring to and doesn't need to be there. So trustees and partners reviewed the proposal and etc. So the first sentence stays and the last sentence stays, and just get rid of the middle sentence is my recommendation.
Okay. Trustee Duncan moves the amendment. All those in favor of the amendment? And that is unanimous. And all those in favor of the minutes as amended? Also unanimous. Wonderful. The minutes are approved. Is there any business arising from the minutes? Hearing none. There are no presentations to the committee this evening, and so we're going to jump straight into new business at C1. I'm going to pass it over to Acting District Vice Principal Blesick to do the Career Development Pathways and Partnerships presentation.
Thank you, Trustee Mabobi. I appreciate that. I'm just going to share my screen here with everyone. I'll make sure everyone can see that. Thank you very much, Trustee Duncan. And let's start at the beginning here. My apologies. Starting a bit too soon here. My name is Kevin Blesick, and I'm the Acting District Vice Principal of our Pathways and Partnerships Department. As you may know, I started this position in October of this school year. I'm excited to share and celebrate some of the work with all of you. I'm pleased to be co-presenting this evening with 3 other wonderful educators, Bonnie Alexander from our department, and 2 team members from the Esquimalt High School Careers team, Tara Clark and Ken Henderson. This evening, we're going to highlight a small portion of our work our department accomplishes across K-12 schools. through a career education at both the school-based and district levels. You will see how our efforts are directly contribute to the goals of the strategic plan and the Enhancing Student Learning Report, as well as the Ministry of Education. Bonnie and I will be providing a scope and sequence of our district offerings in K-12 schools, with a focus of creating purposeful opportunities for students in alignment with career education curriculum. We will highlight Esquimalt amazing careers team with a vision that guides their work and with a focus of creating purposeful opportunities for students in alignment with career education curriculum. My apologies. We will highlight Esquimalt's amazing careers team with a vision that guides their work. Program highlights the big work they will do to connect learning to the outside world with some student success stories. And I will finish with further connections to our South Island partnership data in the Enhancing Student Learning Report. At the district level, our team, Bonnie Alexander, and Dave Argue, which is our newest member, and myself support all students from K-12 schools. Bonnie takes the lead in developing and supporting career education initiatives for students and educators in elementary and middle schools. Dave focuses on student exploration, teacher support, and building industry connections with trades and ADST pathways spanning from kindergarten through the year after graduation. And my role centers on district-wide systems, structures, and partnerships, aligning with ministry directives and supporting career education programs in our 8 high schools. These graphics will look familiar to you, and the quote, "It's not what you want to do, but who you want to become." Our work within Pathways and Partnerships is to support student success through a focus on future orientation through career education. Every decision that we make is linked to the goals of the strategic plan and the Enhancing Student Learning Report, an initiative supported through Stronger BC Future Ready Action Plan as well. We create inclusive and culturally responsive learning environments that support all learners' personal and academic success, and also focus specifically on children, youth, and care, students with diverse needs and disabilities, and Indigenous students. In our ESLER document, we have several focuses under the career development section. And these focuses, goals, and desired outcomes aim to improve student engagement, belonging, connection, and therefore student success. The ministry's vision of student success mandates career education as one of the 3 main pillars of the educated citizen. Pathways and Partnerships contributes to preparing the educated citizen through individualized student planning, curriculum development, program creation and delivery, work and post-secondary connections, as well as enriched classroom experiences. I want to pass it over to my colleague, Bonnie Alexander, who will speak to you around her work in elementary and middle schools. Take it away, Bonnie.
Thank you, Kevin. Can everybody hear me okay? Is there any reverberation? Okay, might have just been my computer. Thank you. Hello, everyone. As Kevin had said, my name is Bonnie Alexander, and I'm the District Career Education Coordinator. My focus is on students and educators in our K-8 schools. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to share the important work that we're doing. So first of all, I want to start by highlighting some of the key district strategies in our department that guide our work for all levels of schools. So firstly, we design research-backed, curriculum-driven resources, programs, and opportunities. We link opportunities and curriculum to the BC labor market, and we utilize data to inform our practice and identify areas of growth. Next, research is also a big part of how and it informs the type of work we do. And we know that career education broadens students' aspirations. It excites children about subjects, which increases their motivation and their engagement at school, and it challenges gender and social stereotypes. So we are actually one of the very few places in the world that has career education embedded in our K-12 curriculum. So guided by the latest research and best practices, our programs, resources, and events are designed to bring career education alive at each school level. We empower teachers to ignite students' curiosity about the world around them because we know kids can't be what they can't see. Each school level plays a crucial role in helping students uncover their unique strengths and talents. In elementary school, we encourage curiosity, bravery, and discovery. The more career students encounter, the more possibilities they see for themselves. In middle school, students start exploring the world of work and its connection to post-secondary education. It's about aligning their values with the problems they want to solve in the world. Secondary school is about real-world experience through meaningful work placements, dual credit courses and programs at UVic and Camosun, and students applying their learning to a field that really inspires them. Our Pathways Career Explorer lessons and student workbook are at the heart of our work in elementary schools. This tool doesn't just introduce students to careers, it lays the foundation for a growth mindset and challenges the outdated notion of a linear career journey. Our tool trolleys and maker centers transform the learning experience into something truly hands-on. It helps kids see that their learning isn't just about sitting at a desk. It's about engaging with the world in a dynamic and creative way. Students are given the freedom to explore, create, and express their learning in ways that speak to their individual strengths and interests. This year, we're excited to launch our SD61 When I Grow Up research project. This isn't just another survey, it's an opportunity to gain deep insights into our students' perceptions of their futures. Who do they envision themselves becoming? And just as importantly, what careers do they not know about? By analyzing their responses, we can uncover where there are gaps in their exposure to a broad range of careers and whether their dreams align with the rapidly evolving future of work. The data from this project will be more than just a snapshot. It will be a catalyst for change. With these insights, we can identify missed opportunities in their career exploration and create even more targeted resources, events, and innovative programs that prepare them for their future. Teacher training is a key focus in building capacity and empowering educators to be career influencers in their classrooms every day. Through staff presentations, lunch and learn workshops, and our ongoing efforts to expand maker centers in elementary schools, we ensure teachers have the resources and support they need to make a lasting impact. Our middle school programs are also built around our Career Explorer lessons and student workbook, where students reflect on what matters to them, uncovers their talents, and it helps them explore the skills they need to solve real-world problems. Through Glowforges and Maker Centers, students engage in hands-on project-based learning that gives them a voice and fosters innovation. The Young Entrepreneur Program empowers them to learn how to build and run their own business. Grade 8 tours of Camosun and UVic give students a tangible sense of what post-secondary life feels like. They experience the sights, sounds, and energy of different departments, helping them imagine studying what truly excites them. Now, I've toured hundreds of grade 8 students, and I can tell you there is nothing more rewarding than watching a student light up when they discover a department that really lights their fire. As in our elementary schools, we work tirelessly to train and inspire educators to take advantage of our resources, events, and trips to post-secondary institutions. Kevin, I will let you continue to share our secondary initiatives.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. As students progress into secondary schools, their experiences become closely aligned with.
And I'm just going to cut you off because you're echoing pretty badly. I'm wondering if
Am I?
do you have
Yeah.
voices in the room?
No, I've just got my computer in the room here, so
Oh,
I'll
interesting.
turn my volume. That's what I'll do. Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you. That sound better?
It's still quite hard to hear you.
I mean, a computer issues here.
You might want to
Is it
rejoin.
still echoing there in Dusty Duncan?
It's still echoing, and you might want to
Yeah.
rejoin, or
That's
perhaps
weird.
just switch mics so
Yeah.
you have a different audio in.
Volume's off. Maybe I should just come to your computer. Yeah.
If you go to
Sorry about that.
media, it's
Apologies.
echoey. Oh, this things happen.
Yeah, this wasn't happening earlier today when we ran a trial run, so my apologies.
No worries.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sometimes
Kevin,
just
I'm not sure if
joining
you were able to.
can work. too. And sometimes just, it's almost like restarting your computer, rejoin the meeting. Sometimes that does it as well.
I think what I'm going to do is introduce our guest speakers. How's that?
That would be great. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
So we have Ken Henderson, our career teacher from Esquimalt, and Tara Clark. She is our fabulous Career Center coordinator. And I'm going to let them share some of the really innovative work that they're doing and how they're connecting educators and students with really great possibilities for their futures.
Do I just talking? Okay, sorry. Hi, my name is Tara Clark, and I am the Career Center Coordinator at Esquimalt High School. So I'll just share what our focus is. Our focus at Esquimalt High School is empowering student voices through personalized, innovative, and equitable pathways. And our work is guided by building meaningful relationships. We want students to see value in their learning and feel valued for their unique strengths and talents. We believe strong relationships are the foundation of connecting students to our pathways opportunities. We don't just provide information, we create a supportive environment that strengthens connections among educators, students, and our broader community. Our whole school approach encourages all educators to engage in students' career exploration. Our efforts include grade-wide events, sharing insights during staff meetings, and having one-on-one discussions about relevant pathway opportunities. The career program begins with foundational discussions in grades 9 and 10 and progresses to hands-on experiences in our grade 11s. Collaborating with our capstone teacher, Ange Coots, pairing graduating students with educators for personalized guidance on their final projects and post-graduation plans. This model helps us engage the entire school community and has a 99% completion rate. We prioritize building relationships with all our students by actively reaching out to them instead of waiting for them to come to us, especially those in our priority groups such as Indigenous learners, diverse learners, newcomers, and students in care. Additionally, connecting the outside world to schoolwork increases students' motivation and improves transition rates to education, training, and employment. Last year, we worked with over 50 different community partners that provided hands-on exploration and mentorship. So how do we know what we are doing is having an impact? One way is the increase in student participation and engagement in our pathways and partnership offerings. In grade 10, assemblies are held to present pathways, offerings, and gather data on student interests. Additionally, 175 students gained insight from panels of current pathways and partnership students. In grade 11, our career classes are scheduled at the same time to encourage teacher collaboration and integrate our pathways initiatives. Last year, 120 students attended interest-based workshops led by industry leaders and our Esquimalt alumni. And the willingness of our alumni to return and share suggests a positive impact beyond graduation. With student choice in mind, 4 Camosun tours are organized each semester. Last year, 140 students explored the campus to foster interest in higher education. As a result, this year, participation in our dual credit opportunities has increased by 55%, including a few grade 12 students who are completing their final year at Camosun in full-time programs. Additionally, in our work experience programs, we supported 70 students last year, including our priority students who need a little extra care and guidance. Some students seek out our support directly, while others are referred by counselors and administrators. These 30 to 100-hour work experiences go far beyond simple job placements. They're designed to align with individual goals and interests. We're not just preparing them for jobs, we're empowering them to see their own potential and the role they can play in our community and beyond. Another way we assess impact is by sharing meaningful stories that highlight success as a personal journey, which can be defined in various ways beyond numbers. By focusing on the individual needs of priority students who encounter additional challenges, we take time to listen to their stories and develop personalized, culturally responsive, and trauma-informed career plans. And now Ken Henderson will shine a spotlight on our community partnerships and share inspiring stories that will bring light to the work we do and warmth to our hearts.
Thank you, Tara. Okay. Hi, folks. Yeah, my name is Ken, and I'm the careers teacher at Esquimalt. So wanted to tell you a bit about our spring break work experience program. We offer this to our grade 11 and 12 students, and they get to experience a week of work in a field of interest. We talk about it all year. Students indicate that they would like to do this, and then based on what the students are interested in, we contact businesses that are a match for the area the student would like to work in. In the spring, we deal with worksite visits, interviews, safety and training plans. And then in the first week of spring break, our students take part in these 30 to 40-hour work placements. One of the great things about this program is that the placements are tailored to the student's area of interest. So we have found over a dozen trade areas. We've also sent students to work in law and medical offices, in veterinarian clinics, and with software and engineering companies. A neat thing about the spring break experience is that it often then leads to a next step while the student is still with us in high school. For trade students, that week of work can lead to a summer job, and that can lead to an apprenticeship. For students specializing in something, it can lead to applying to post-secondary in that specialized field. And we also need to talk about the students who do the week of work and realize they do not enjoy it. So those students, we debrief with them and we help them move forward with other options based on what they've learned from that experience. Over the years, we have had some really notable partnerships that we'd like to tell you about. Since 2019, we've been sending Esquimalt students to Seaspan shipyards. So at Seaspan, they do welding, machining, pipe fitting, and more. We start with tours. We take the shop class students to tours to Seaspan. And then once they've seen the dry dock, which is enormous, and they've seen some of these massive ships, we talk about the possibility of students working there for a week. And some of them just light up. So we really are very grateful to our partner Seaspan because every year they offer placements for 6 to 8 Esquimalt High students. They give them security clearances, and these students get a chance to have this customized experience in a truly world-class ship repair facility. Another partner we have, then you'll sort of see it in the picture, is with Esquimalt Fire Department. So the model that we use there is the firefighters come to our school for a presentation before the winter break. Then we talk about a springboard day where the students can go and visit the firefighters at work. So students sign up for that. And then from that group of usually about 20 students, some of them sign up for what we call the Spring Break Fire Camp. And this is funded by the municipality and run by firefighters. And I think this picture pretty much tells the story of these students in their safety gear, getting ready to do scenarios. They really do learn by doing at fire camp. Okay, we've got another slide to show you that will hopefully come up in a second. And what it is a testimonial from Sophie, who graduated last year and was a youth in care student. So we asked her, we worked with Sophie a lot over the past, in her grade 11 and grade 12 year. By the time she graduated, she started an electrical program at Camosun, and she actually was in the top of her top 3 students in that program. And so we started debrief with her and we asked, how did the Esquimalt careers team impact your high school experience? And part of her answer was, the careers team's belief in my potential and dedication to my success had a great impact on my life. And I am incredibly grateful for the opportunities they helped me access. That's just part of what Sophie had to say. If you'd like to see it in full, we included it in the memo notes. And now we just would like to conclude with one story of one student, because we can't tell you 100, so we'll just go with one. Okay, so here's Johnny. Johnny is a current grade 11 student. He knows that we're talking about him tonight, and he's thrilled about it. So this story kind of starts in grade 10. Johnny, who is a Métis student, was disinterested in almost most aspects of high school. He was often absent. He was disengaged, and he was negative about both school, and he also had a negative outlook on himself. His average class mark was 54%. So then we're going to fast forward to February of that grade 10 year. Johnny was in a shop class, and so he came on this tour of the C-SPAN shipyards, and he was thrilled with what he saw. He saw big ships, he saw the dry dock, and he was able to visualize himself being a C-SPAN employee one day. I was on that tour with John, and he made clear to me that he really wanted to experience working there. So the following week, he got all his paperwork on time, talked about how excited he was. But on the day of the safety orientation, which was the last day of school before spring break, John did not arrive at 9 a.m. for his safety orientation, which is has to happen if you're going to be on site. So there was a bit of a panic, but we called the school. Turns out he was just in his shop class. He'd gotten his dates mixed up. He was unaware that he was missing his safety orientation. Someone raced back to school, got him. We got him back to C-SPAN and got him back in time, and he completed his safety orientation and was able to have the experience. After the spring break, Johnny, did say that his time at C-SPAN had been inspiring and that he had a sort of a new outlook on being at school. So he applied to the SD61 task program, and I know that he gave such a compelling interview that basically the group said, well, we have to accept this kid, but we have to tell him that his attendance is going to have to improve. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. So he was accepted right away with the message that attendance had to improve. Now Johnny is now halfway through grade 11, and he is living up to all of the goals that he set for himself after C-SPAN. His average class mark is up over 30%. It's now at 84%. His attendance record is near perfect. He puts in his best effort, he's positive, and he knows that he can do hard things. You will notice in this photo that Johnny has on a C-SPAN toque, if you look carefully. So he wears that toque to school every day. And it's not a stretch to say that Johnny's experience at C-SPAN was affirming both for life and for school from his perspective. So on behalf of Tara and myself, we just want to close by saying that, we really love this work. We're grateful that in our roles, we get to have meaningful conversations with students, and that sometimes, what happens ends up being sort of life-changing impact on students and their families. The two of us have worked together as career educators for the past 8 years. And every year things continue to evolve. So our goal is to continue to grow and improve in how we help our students as they transition into the world that awaits them after graduation. Thanks very much.
Wonderful.
Thank
Oh, I see.
Thank you. Thank you,
Kevin,
Trustee Mabody. Yeah.
Go ahead, Kevin. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead, Kevin. You're muted, Kevin.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Trustee Mabobi. And thank you, Ken and Tara. As students progress into secondary school, their experiences become more closely aligned with the career pathways through various initiatives, including the district's TASK program, which is a Trades Awareness and Skills and Knowledge program held at Lambert Park, Indigenous Hands-on Learners Day at Camosun College, Health and Exploratory Day, as well at Camosun College, Women Trades and Technology event, as well as their annual career fair at the Archie Browning Center. These opportunities provide students with practical, real-world insights into the potential career paths, helping them make informed decisions about their futures. Finally, in skilled trades, we support youth apprentices into the year after graduation. And this year, we've already supported over 30 new youth apprentices. This includes Muad'Din, which is a carpenter apprentice at G&G Builders. Suri Cook is a professional cook at the Cordier Room. Colin Nugent is an electrical apprentice at Beltec. And I'm proud to let you know that we have 55 new recipients this year who will be receiving a $1,000 scholarship. A celebration will be held in February. William Shaw on the slide will be a recipient of one of these scholarships. We pride ourselves in ensuring equity and opportunity across all our K-12 schools to build skills and confidence, broaden aspirations, challenge gender stereotypes, and increase motivation by connecting students to these opportunities. At the school level is our investment in our careers teams. Most secondary schools in our school district are supported by a half-time Career Center teacher and a full-time Career Center coordinator. These dedicated, non-enrolling staff members serve as the essential bridge between students, post-secondary institutions, local industries, businesses, and organizations that support students' futures. Their work is pivotal in helping students discover and achieve their own definitions of success through the personalized services they provide. I wanted to take a moment to showcase all their faces as they are truly invaluable members of our secondary school communities. Again, this is proven through student voice. In last year's student learning survey, 91% of grade 12s shared that they knew where their career center is located in their schools. Further, 87% have taken part in at least one Pathways initiative. Again, as you've heard from Tara Clark and Ken Henderson already about their experiences, these are two amazing they're the dream team of Esquimalt. Again, thank you very much, Ken and Tara, for the work you always do. But designing individual opportunities for students that they feel that they belong, they have purpose, and they matter, students will feel more engaged in their studies. As you've heard, this can be done through community work experience, workshops, visits to post-secondary campuses, and more. In addition, this can also be done through engaging in dual credit courses and programs. Our partner, the South Island Partnership, SIP, at Camosun College, supports thousands of students annually. This dedicated SIP team consists of 6 members that work closely with district and school staff to manage and create opportunities directly connected to Camosun College. These opportunities could be through dual credit courses, trades programs, exploratory days, and tours. The data from last year's clearly shows student success rates, with 89% of students completing dual credit courses and programs. This is 231 courses completed and 64 students in programs. Among these results, 85% of students achieved a course mark higher than 70%, and in programs, 86% of students also achieved a mark higher than 70% as well. This could be a Physics 104 class taken in a dual credit cohort, or a Trades Foundation program where students are studying at Camosun for 6 months. One of our goals in the Enhancing Student Learning Report is to connect more priority students to dual credit courses in order to increase participation in these types of opportunities. A Ministry of Education study concluded that dual credit students are more likely than non-dual credit students to complete high school. This percentage is higher at 8% for Indigenous students, as well as 9% for students with diverse abilities and disabilities. Further, the same study concluded that dual credit participants are 16% more likely than their peers to transition to post-secondary. Clearly, dual credit opportunities have a positive impact. Collaborations between school-based, Indigenous, inclusive education, and children, youth, and care teams will enable us to support all students' transitions into dual credit and otherwise career-related experiences. It is essential that we regularly assess whether our efforts are truly making an impact. A key way of doing this is by listening to student voice and again, collecting data. We always approach our work with a focus on purpose and intent. To better understand how students are engaging with our career centers, we've expanded the questions on our student learning survey. Once again, the results are overwhelmingly positive and even more encouraging than last year. As mentioned earlier, career centers are engaging hubs in our secondary schools. 88% of students said they had a plan after high school in either employment, education, or trades training. 88% think they will probably or definitely go to post-secondary after high school. Our district's work around pathways, career pathways, is always showing positive outcomes, and we are committed to continuing this progress. Our plan in the future is to improve student participation rates in dual credit and other opportunities through strategic, purposeful connections and relationships built both at the district and school levels. We collaborate closely with key departments, including the Indigenous Education, Learning Teams, Inclusive Education, and the Welcome Center to strengthen this work. Within our schools, career teams are highly engaged with their school teams as well. We recognize the importance of ensuring that our efforts reach as many students as possible, again, including children, youth, and care, students with diverse needs and disabilities, and Indigenous students. We understand that this goal requires a collective commitment, and we embrace the responsibility to engage everyone in making it a reality. Finally, these opportunities are crucial, as research shows that students who participate in 4 or more career-related activities, dual credit or otherwise, are 25% less likely to become NEET after high school. And NEET stands for not education, employment, or training. The more students we can access, the more we can have a positive impact on their pathways towards and after graduation. And finally, when we connect with students and families, we hear the same heartfelt message. I wish this opportunity had been available to me when I was growing up. This powerful message speaks to the importance of the work we do. Together, we help create meaningful opportunities that inspire and empower students to envision and pursue successful career paths where they truly see themselves thriving. Through our efforts and pathways and partnerships, we open up doors for students at both the district level and, as you've heard from the Esquimalt Careers team, through school-based initiatives. These offerings provide students with the tools and experience to become who they aspire to be. We really sincerely appreciate your time this evening. Are happy to answer any questions you may have, and we apologize for the technical difficulties.
Thank you so much, Kevin and Bonnie and Ken and Tara, for your presentation. It was very, very heartwarming. I enjoyed it very much. Maybe we can stop sharing the screen so I can, oh, there we go. Wonderful. And I see Trustee David has also joined us. Welcome, Trustee David. So I'll open up the floor for questions and comments. We'll just open up the floor to everybody. Cindy.
Hi, good evening. You're right. That last quote, I wish I had that program when I was in high school, is definitely one that I was thinking while the presentation was going on. So thank you. I love that this program creates more connections and relationships with students for support, and that it builds confidence. And it's important that students can see themselves in these programs and these careers. I didn't get that opportunity, but I mean, I think my career path is okay. This is a great program, so thank you for the work that you do. And I think it's also great that it opens doors that students didn't even know were there. So thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Trustee Duncan.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, and thank you all for being here tonight. It is always a highlight for me in the year to hear more about the good work that you are all doing on behalf of students. And again, I walk away with the same feeling of just awe about the good work you're doing, the dedication of your team, and the passion you all clearly bring to the work you do. It really shines through, and I haven't in my 8 or coming up on 8, 7 for sure years as a trustee, I've not once heard anything from students other than how much they appreciate the work that you're doing and how excited they are about the opportunities that your program affords them. And I'm always interested to hear about how we can support growing that work and broadening it out to more and more students. And so I'm wondering if there is any feedback you have for us around how we might support you in growing the program. It always amazes me how much you do with a relatively small team, and how much leadership that requires from each of you within your school environments and then at the district office. And so, yeah, I just would be interested to hear what you have in the pipeline and how we might support growing the work that you do.
Trustee Duncan, that is a great question. And I think, like you said, we are a small and mighty department. And I can't express that enough. And definitely the work we do between myself, Bonnie, and Dave. And again, taking over this position at the start of October and having Lindsay as really our guiding light. And she still is that she still is guiding us in terms of that transition period between jobs. That's something I really have to get back to you on, I think. And I don't want to stumble over my words and think, this is something that we have thought about that to a certain extent. And definitely more manpower is always something that we will always be looking for in terms of supporting more students. But that's definitely something that Bonnie and I and Dave will have to sit down and sitting down with our associate Tom Arts as well to sort of look at more possibilities.
Thank you. That's much appreciated. Look forward to hearing it, and not to worry about the technical issues. We've all been there.
you
You
so
handled
much.
it very gracefully.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'm not seeing any more hands at this time. Last call for questions. All right, hearing none, thank you so much for your presentation. It was amazing. I had a very good time listening to it. The work that you guys do is so inspiring. I'm going to move us along our agenda now to C2, Draft Policy 5145, Police Questioning in Schools. So for this item, I'm going to pass it over to Trustee Duncan, who is the chair of our policy committee.
Thank you, Chair. So yeah, in your pack up on the last 2 pages, you'll find a new draft. I wouldn't say it was revised. It's basically, I think it's probably fair to say, I'll look to the others on the policy subcommittee, but I would think it's fair to say that it's been re-envisioned and redrafted. This is the first opportunity that we have had to share it with partners and with our colleagues. And so the vision is that once we get to the point of board approval, that we would then be looking at moving forward the work on a regulation to accompany the policy and to support the implementation of the policy. But for tonight, we're at stage 1, which is getting to the point of a policy that we can move forward through to approval of the board. One of the, I think, key items that we would like to find out this evening is getting some feedback from partners around the policy, and in particular, how much time you folks feel that you need in order to go back to your groups and seek feedback. If you're happy with the way that the policy is shaping up, or if you have any immediate feedback. This is high priority work for the board, and we don't want to delay it a long time, because right now there is a policy in place that the board does not feel is sufficient. And so we would like to move this work along as a matter of some urgency. So I guess first of all, I'm really interested in hearing the feedback on where we've got so far, and then I'll provide a little bit of background before we do that. So we did get quite a lot of feedback and some very kind offers of expertise in getting to the point of creating the policy. And so we've really leaned into that expertise that was offered to us, and in order to get to this stage. So with that, I will pause there and look forward to hearing your feedback on the draft.
Thank you, Trustee Duncan. I'm already seeing our first hand. Nissa, go ahead.
Thank you, and through the chair, just to answer your question right off the top, ideally we would have 6 to 8 weeks to engage with our community, because it's very large with the parents. This is related to quite a contentious issue currently, and one of the ongoing challenges that we have is being able to allow enough time for parents to really feel like they've been heard. With a policy like this, as much as we can dedicate time in one of our regular monthly meetings, which is tomorrow. So that doesn't give a lot of time to put this out. But it also provides an opportunity for us to bring this to the parent community and then provide a forum to discuss it at our next monthly meeting and then provide a more fulsome response. So my initial ask would be not before March. And understanding the tight timelines, but 20,000 families is a large herd of cats to wrangle.
Thank you, Nissa. Obviously, we want to allow time for everyone to be able to weigh in. So thank you for that reminder that we need to allow enough time. Does anyone else have any comments or thoughts about timeline? Go ahead, Connor.
Thank you. And sorry, just took me a second couldn't find the hand. I think as on behalf of the VP-VPA, we'd like time to review the policy just to make sure that we can bring back thoughtful feedback as well.
Thank you. And I also saw Cindy's hand.
I concur with Nissa and Connor that time would be good, just so that proper consultation can be made with all parties. So give us time to look at it and give you feedback.
Okay, so so it sounds like the general feedback is that we would be happy for approximately March for potential approval. I'll pass it back to Trustee Duncan.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, and thank you everybody for feeding back your timelines. My ask would be that we endeavor to have a conversation to bring this back to the February Ed policy meeting then. And so that we can have some dialogue about the nature of the feedback that you glean from your respective members. And then with the goal of, I don't know if waiting till March is really feasible, given the importance of this. This goes to the heart of student rights. And so there's some significant implications of delaying for too long, but certainly I think it's reasonable to bring this back in February to the Ed policy meeting with the goal of perhaps having some feedback, which we can wrap into the work for maybe approval in February. But let's see how we get on. But I would just ask partners if you could bring back your feedback for us by the February Ed policy, that would be much appreciated. And if there's any feedback tonight, we'd be more than happy to receive that as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Trustee Duncan. I would definitely encourage any initial feedback that folks might have to bring it up right away, as time is of the essence. And yeah, I agree with Trustee Duncan that we'll see how it goes in February, and if it really seems like we need another month, then that might just be what we have to do. I'll go ahead and pass it to Nissa.
Thank you. And through the chair, the VCPAC executive will endeavor to take an iterative approach and engage and hopefully garner some initial thoughts. But in order to support diversity and inclusion, I think we need to take the time to have both in-person and online opportunities for our families to provide their feedback. So as much as we can circulate this, and some people I'm sure will jump right on it, I think we need to try and incorporate this in at least one of our monthly meetings.
Thank you, Nissa. Go ahead, Shauna.
Can I ask why of the essence for this new policy?
Trustee Duncan, would you like to take that?
Yeah, it's so important because it is about students' legal rights, and so the stakes are very high. If we aren't able to don't navigate that correctly, then it can have an impact on both students' legal rights, but also their human rights. So the stakes are very high. And it was very clear to the board that we needed to look at our existing approach and that it needed to be rethought in a very significant way.
Thank you, Trustee Duncan. Go ahead, Nissa.
Thank you. And through the chair, I think also this is one of the policies that needs to be addressed to support ongoing development of the safety plan for the district, which references a number of district policies. So to me, this seems like quite positive action. Obviously, the question of student safety and student rights is quite complex and has lots of moving parts. So I'm very glad to see progress on even one little part of the puzzle. Thank you.
Thanks for that feedback, Nissa. I saw Trustee Duncan's hand again.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify. So the board directed that this policy be reviewed well before the minister's orders. But the first minister's order did ask the board to specify which policies we felt were in need of review. And this is amongst the list that the board provided of policies that we feel need to be reviewed. And this has been one of the priority policies in the board's view. So we've actually prioritized our work on this as a result.
Thank you, Trustee Duncan. Go ahead, Cindy.
When I did a quick look online, it said the last time this policy was updated was in 1979. So I think regardless, it's good that we're looking at it because it's as old as me.
So not too old. All right, so I will take a minute to allow for anybody with any initial thoughts, if you want to share, or any questions about the policy itself, or any suggestions before we conclude the meeting this evening. Go ahead, Nissa.
Thank you. And through the chair, I liked the portion under point 1 where it gave options for contacting guardians and ways to proceed depending on the situation, because I think it speaks to, in many cases, these situations are kind of an emergency situation, and so providing strong guidelines to help staff and administrators and guardians navigate sometimes these tense situations, I think is really important.
Thanks for that feedback, Nissa. Any last suggestions or questions or comments about this policy? All right, hearing none, I'm going to move us along the agenda. There is no notice of, oh, go ahead, Trustee Duncan.
Sorry, Chair, if I may, I just wanted to kind of clarify our next steps, and especially if we're not gonna, there's no recommended motion. So we're going to bring this back then to Ed Policy in February with a request to our partners to bring their feedback to that meeting as an important initial step to sharing feedback with us about it. So I just wanted to reiterate that was my understanding of the next steps. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much for clarifying that, Trustee Duncan. Okay, so now I'll move us along the agenda. There is no notice.
Wait.
Oh, there's another hand. Wait. Oh, Anna Vey, sorry about that. I didn't see your hand. Please go.
Hi, sorry. Having some issues connecting via my phone.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I would just like to request an actual invitation to the next meeting because I had to request one this evening.
Most certainly. I will turn to our senior leadership team.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for pointing that out. I don't know whose hand would be up, but I'll pass it over to Superintendent.
Thank you, and our apologies, Anave, that would have been our error, so we do apologize and certainly will include you in all meetings coming up.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Superintendent. Okay, I'm going to pause one last time. I apologize. I keep moving us along the agenda too soon. Any last comments or questions? Okay, fantastic. I don't believe there is a notice of motion this evening or any general announcements, which brings us to adjournment. Can I please get a mover for adjournment? Moved by Trustee David. All those in favor? And that is unanimous. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.